just like that.
Exactly.
Meeting called to order. The time is 7:02. Public portion of the meeting begins. New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Business Administrator Board Secretary has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, communicated to the Herald News, the Record, and filed with the clerk of the Borough of Hawthorne. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr.
Present.
Mr. Clevio.
Here.
Mr. Doyle.
Here.
Ms. Erentraut.
Here.
Dr. Morrell.
Present.
Mr. Palouse.
Here.
Mr. Shortway.
Here.
Mr. Notaro.
Present.
Mrs. Dodd.
Here. Please join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. During each regular meeting, 2 opportunities are provided for citizens to ask questions and to make comments. During the first opportunity, early on the agenda, the meeting is open to the public for the purpose of addressing items listed on this for approval on this agenda only. The second opportunity occurs just prior to adjournment, when citizens may address any subject matter that is pertinent to and or directly related to the operation of the school district. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, state their name, address, and subject matter. Comments and questions shall be addressed to the board president or the presiding officer and shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. The board may or may not respond to issues raised by members of the public at the time they are raised, but will provide a response if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Please note that the board will not respond to comments regarding students or board employees in light of the privacy rights held by those individuals. Moreover, the board discourages comments about such individuals and will not be responsible for such comments. Members of the public who choose to speak during this public session should carefully consider their comments, since they could be held personally liable for any statements they make. Finally, please note that in accordance with district policy, the board will not officially comment or respond to any matter mentioned unless it can confirm the matter has first been brought to the attention of the appropriate school personnel in an attempt to resolve the issue. Public be heard, agenda items only. Approval of minutes, November 7th and 14th.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Carr, seconded by Mr. Clavijo. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Mr. Clevio.
Yes.
Mr. Doyle.
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut.
Yes.
Dr. Morrell.
Yes.
Mr. Palouse.
Yes.
Mr. Shortway.
Yes.
Mrs. Notaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Dodd.
Yes. Correspondence, I do have 2 things to share with the board. First of all, we got a thank you. The entire district got a thank you from Meg Natal, who works for the Chamber of Commerce. She wrote, Hawthorne BOE and groups from Hawthorne High School. I just wanted to thank you all for participating in the Santa Parade on Friday night. The rain could not dampen the community spirit of parade participants or the families that came out to watch the Santa Parade and tree lighting. They will surely remember this event. Hawthorne is a great town and we should be proud of all to call it home. I wanted to also let you know that I attended the Saturday night performance of Anne of Green Gables. It was wonderful and everyone did a great job. Happy holidays. Thank you, Meg. Wonderful to always be included. Sadly, I did not attend because I had another engagement, but it's awesome to march alongside our students. The football team was there, the cheerleaders were there, the band was there, and it was a really great showing. We also got via the board email address an email from James Nematoff, who wanted to thank us for involvement in his Eagle Scout. I'll just read it. Good evening, my name is James Nevatoff, and I am a senior patrol leader of Troop 170 in North Halden and resident of Hawthorne, New Jersey. My Eagle Scout project was building little free libraries in Gothelbrook Park for the Passaic County Parks Department. With great pride, I would like to inform you that on December 7, 2023, at approximately 7:30 p.m., I successfully passed my board of review and was advanced to the rank of Eagle Scout. Thank you for being a part of my trial to Eagle. My Eagle Scout Court of Honor will be held in 2024. I wanted to share that with everybody because it came to the board email address. That is all I have for correspondence. Do you have anything else, Dr. Spudo?
I do not.
Okay. Reports. Ms. Counselor is not here. Dr. Sprito, are you going to?
I will share her report. Unfortunately, Brandon's a little under the weather tonight, so I will share her student rep report. Okay, so it says thank you and good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by congratulating some outstanding senior athletes who recently committed to college with plans to continue their athletic careers. Kate Rudolph recently committed to Ohio State University for rowing, John Wiedemeyer to Westminster College for lacrosse, and Logan Sakir to Caldwell University for lacrosse. Congratulations are also in order to Mrs. Fadden and Mrs. DiGeronimo, who recently received very well-deserved recognition at Governor's Educators of the Year. Our Library Media Center is open in the high school and the renovations look amazing. Students can't get away from all the new resources provided to us there, especially the new gaming equipment. So for those who don't know, just a little side note, we have a new esports area in our media center that will be fully functional soon, so we're very excited about that area as well. Okay, sorry. Thursday night was a wonderful turnout for the high school's annual winter dance at Macaluso's. We couldn't have had more fun, and we students dearly appreciate all the hard work the staff puts into organizing the event. Upcoming school events. On December 15th, the Performing Arts Club will host a hot cocoa bar and holiday sale at 3 p.m. in front of the school's main entrance from 3 to 4 p.m. The winter concert will be hosted in the auditorium at 7 o'clock on December 20th. Winter break will be from December 23rd to January 1st. The week leading up to it, the Student Council has organized our Winter Spirit Week at Hawthorne High School with days such as Pajama Monday and Ugly Sweater Friday. That's it for today. Thank you for your time, and as always, go Bears. So that is Brianna's report, and I'll roll right into my report. So as Brianna mentioned, and I'm sure people in our community are aware, each year we recognize educators as part of the Governor's Educator of the Year and Educational Services Professionals of the Year program. We receive or accept nominations from anyone in our community as well as people within our schools. The nomination process this year, I know every year takes place in November. Immediately following the nominations that are received, each school has a committee composed of teacher, administrator, board member, and a parent. The committee members review the nominations that are submitted and complete scoring sheets provided by the Department of Education, and these are the scoring sheets that determine the winners in each building. And then those staff members are then eligible to apply for County Teacher of the Year, and they also participate in a countywide luncheon, which is held in the spring of 2024 at the Brownstone. So this year, we are proud to honor the staff members who were recognized in each of our schools. We look forward to publicly recognizing them on May 7th at our Board of Education meeting at Hawthorne High School. So I'll just read the names of the winners for the 23-24 school year. At Jefferson School, our Teacher of the Year is Erin McKeon, one of our preschool teachers. At Roosevelt School is Kerry Casey, she's our Teacher of the Year, and our Educational Services Professional of the Year at Roosevelt School is Jackie Pizarro. Our Teacher of the Year at Washington School is Tanya Barnes. Our Teacher of the Year at Lincoln Middle School is Renee Snudden, and our Educational Services Professional at Lincoln Middle School is Barbara Mulvey. Our Teacher of the Year at Hawthorne High School is Pam Fadden, and our Educational Services Professional of the Year is Teresa DiGeronimo. And as you guys remember, Teresa was recognized at the school board's convention as well, so she's having a heck of a year, but well-deserved, Mrs. DiGeronimo, so congratulations. So again, congratulations to all of our honorees or people we recognize this year. Also, I want to share, each year our students at the middle school and high school participate in the Patriots Pen and Voice of Democracy contest through the VFW. So I'll just share something that Mrs. Denise forwarded to me. Mrs. Carol Denise was notified by the VFW that the following Lincoln Middle School students and Hawthorne High School students placed in the Patriots Pen Essay Contest and the Voice of Democracy Essay/Audio Contest. This year's theme for Lincoln Middle School was How are you inspired by America? And the people that were recognized, first place is Kira Reed. Congratulations, Kira. Second place, Audrey Parsons. Third place, Georgina Campos. And honorable mention is Damaris Mercica. Congratulations to those students at Lincoln Middle School. At the high school, the Voice of Democracy Essay and Audio Contest, this year's theme for that, for the high school contest was what are the greatest attributes of our democracy? And this year's high school winner, who was a two-time winner, second year in a row, first place is Jordan Soma. So congratulations, Jordan, a two-time first place winner. Jordan wrote her essay and then recorded the essay. Her essays will now go on to the next level, which is the county level. And according to Mrs. Denise, her essay was exceptional. So again, we're very proud to recognize these students, and congratulations on receiving this recognition. As Brianna mentioned, we still have some events. We had some events that have already passed and some that are coming up. So I want to just say great job to our students for the high school fall production and of Green Gables. You know, our students are at the high school they continue to impress me with their performance abilities and their ability to get up there and memorize all those lines. It's amazing what these students are able to do in a short time. And they always do a great job with our performances. So they did a great job. Our fall production at the high school is from December 1st through December 3rd. And again, congratulations to those students on a great job. We had our winter concerts at Washington School on December 6th and Roosevelt School on December 7th. We still have our winter concert at Jefferson School on December 13th, at Lincoln Middle School on the 14th, and at Hawthorne High School on December 20th. And I'd also like to remind everyone that our annual TREPS program will take place on Tuesday, December 19th at 6:30 p.m. at Roosevelt School. So if you're interested in purchasing some of the items from our young entrepreneurs, please, I encourage you to attend. It's a great event to see what the products that the kids produce for that event. I know I've mentioned this previously, but I'll mention it again. We're still on track to transition to our new website in January 2024. It won't open right after the break. It'll sometime in mid-January, but we'll advertise that date of the transition to our new site. We're working on it. I can tell you we've been through a couple of trainings. We have another training tomorrow where our administrators are just transitioning all the information from our old site to our new site. So we are on pace to have that transition in mid-January. Again, we'll communicate that official date when we return from the break. Along with the new website, we'll be transitioning to a new web address. So we'll be going from hawthorne.k12.nj.us to www.hawthorneschools.org. That'll be our new web address. All right. So both will continue to work as we go forward, but that will be our new web address. So again, we'll communicate all that when we return from the break. And just two other items. First, I just want to thank Dr. Morell for her service to the board. I just want to express my gratitude to Dr. Morell for her commitment to the betterment of our school district. Over the past 3 years, you've been a student advocate and helped to shape the educational experience for current and future students in Hawthorne. I appreciate your service and commitment to this board and to our students, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you. In closing, I'd just like to wish everyone happy holidays and a happy and healthy new year. I can't believe we're talking about 2024. It's wild how quickly time goes. But again, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. I hope you enjoy the time with family and friends. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sprito. Moving on to action items, curriculum and instruction, Dr. Morell.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Curriculum and Instruction recommends the following resolutions. CI 1 through CI 6 on page 3, CI 7 through CI 13 on page 4. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Morell, seconded by Mr. Doyle. Did I get that right? Mr. Shortway. I knew it came from right over here, I just didn't know. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevio.
Yes.
Mr. Doyle.
Yes.
Ms. Erentrout.
Yes.
Dr. Morell.
Yes.
Mr. Palouse.
Yes.
Mr. Shortway.
Yes.
Mr. Totaro.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Mrs. Goff.
Yes. Ms. Erentrout, personnel.
The following resolutions are pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools. P1 on page 4, P2 through P15 on page 5, P16 through P22 on page 6, and P23 and P24 on page 7. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Erentrout, seconded by Mr. Totaro. Any discussion?
Comments. I always like to
Of course.
welcome the new staff members to the team. I know that we're disappointed that Mrs. Caradori is leaving, but I'm glad to see that we did find an art teacher for to replace her. That's exciting. So welcome everyone that's new.
Any other discussion?
Also want to wish Mr. Godomo a happy retirement. I know he's been with us for quite some time. Glad to see that we're able to hire a high school guidance director.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentrout?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Paluce?
Yes.
Mr. Shortway?
Yes.
Mrs. Tataro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavio?
Yes.
Mrs. Goff?
Yes. Mr. Clavijo, Finance and Administration.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance and Administration, action items pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Finance and Administration recommends the following resolutions on page 7, F1 through F6, on page 8, A1 through A3. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Clavijo, seconded by Dr. Morel. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Erentrout?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Paluce?
Yes.
Mr. Shortway?
Yes.
Mr. Tataro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Goff?
Yes. Mr. Paluce, claims.
Thank you. You want a little more prepared?
No.
Sorry. Okay,
Take mine.
thank you. In accordance with the NJAC 6A:23-2:11B, C3, and C4, I did have the pleasure of reviewing the bills. Everything seemed to be in order, and it's my recommendation to pay them this month.
Thank
Second.
you, Mr. Paluce. Moved by Mr. Paluce, seconded by Mr. Clavijo. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Paluce?
Yes.
Mr. Shortway?
Yes.
Mr. Tataro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentrout?
Yes.
Mrs. Goff?
Yes. Mr. Totaro, Buildings and Grounds.
Thank you, Madam President. Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Buildings and Grounds recommends the following resolutions. BG1 on page 8, carried over onto page 9. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second. Moved by Mr. Totaro, seconded by Ms. Erentrout. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Paluce?
Yes.
Mr. Shortway?
Yes.
Mr. Tataro?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clavio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentrout?
Yes.
Dr. Morel?
Yes.
Mrs. Goff?
Yes. Committee and liaison reports. Mr. Carr, Legislative.
Thank you, Madam President. The following pieces of legislation received final legislative approval over the last week and now await action by Governor Murphy. Security drills and students with disabilities, A1174S2057, would require certain documentation of the needs of students with disabilities during school security drills and emergency situations, as well as in school security plans. The bill also requires staff training on the needs of students with disabilities and emergency planning. More specifically, the bill would require all students and staff to fully participate in each emergency drill conducted to the greatest extent practicable, and when appropriate, utilize procedures for assisting in the rescue of persons unable to use the general means of egress to ensure that participation does not pose a safety risk. The school safety and security training provided to school employees under current law address the unique needs of students with disabilities in the event of a fire drill, security drill, or actual emergency. Schools will be required to make employees aware of the anticipated supports, such as those for mobility, medical, and communication needs that will be required for these students, and any services that must be provided under students' individualized education plans, individualized healthcare plans, and 504 plans. And the Building Security Drill Guide and training materials developed by the Commissioner of Education and New Jersey Office of Homeland Security include information on the unique needs of students with disabilities, including protocol for accommodating those students, and school districts and non-public schools to ensure that a student's unique mobility, sensory, medical, social, communication, emotional, regulatory, and decision-making needs in the event of a fire drill, school security drill, or actual emergency is maintained in the student record. Such a record shall indicate whether or not the student is able to safely and fully participate in drills without additional supports, or if any accommodations are needed. School audit delay A4033 S2657 would extend the deadline for completing and filing the school's district annual audit by 2 months. Throughout the legislative process, the NJSBA has expressed concerns that delaying audit submission would create challenges for districts in completing timely, fiscally responsible budgets by delaying the release of key budget information and resources that rely on audit data, such as the NJDOE's budget software. And finally, School Safety and Security Task Force, S3079A4977, would establish a School Safety and Security Task Force to study and develop recommendations to improve school safety and security and to ensure a safe learning environment for students and employees. The task force would consist of 17 members, including representatives of various government agencies, education advocacy groups, including the NJSBA, and members of the public with expertise in school security. The task force would be charged with developing recommendations regarding several school security issues, including but not limited to hardening the school perimeter and building entryways, strategies to ensure the needs of students with disabilities are reflected in all areas of emergency planning and response measures, and standards for architectural design for new construction. This concludes our report.
Thank you, Mr. Carr. Mr. Clavijo, Finance and Administration and Passaic County School Boards, please.
Thank you, Ms. Goff. The Finance Committee met before this meeting. Topics that were discussed were the budget. Budget for 2024-2025 is ongoing. Something to keep in mind is that this new calendar year has the negotiations with the HTA on the agenda. Also, the health insurance increment for this coming year is preliminary projected to be between 12 and 15%. We have a couple openings at our Bear Cave. So, if you guys can help spread the word, right? We do have some openings there, so that's incoming. If we are able to bring somebody to the district, to the Bear Cave, that's actually income that comes into the district. So, in your travels, if you can, if something comes up your way. In regards to the breakfast at the incident over at the high school, the repairs have been completed. At this point, it's going back and forth with the insurance company to see how much it is that they cover. At this point, the cost is in the vicinity of $380,000. The insurance company is paying approximately $34,000 as a total payout. They're attributing it to wear and tear. The fiber will also be included in the whatever it is that they cover outside of the $34,000. The audit is being done. It's in process. Like in previous years, once the audit is complete, we'll have the auditors come up and present their findings. Last but not least, for our payroll position, we are going to be going with a consulting company for this coming year. And that concludes Finance Committee. For Passaic County School Boards Association, the meeting took place last month. The topic was school security. For this coming year, the events that are on the schedule are for February 1st, March 11th, and May 29th. As they come due, myself or whoever's Passaic County School Board Associate delegate will fill us in as to what the details of those meetings will be. At the meeting, they also recognized our new board members, incoming board members, including Erica Wolke, who's here in attendance, and they also did a farewell to our retiring Board of Ed members, including Dr. Morrell and Dr. Hodges from Patterson, who's been on that board for 19 years. And that concludes that report.
Thank you, Mr. Clavijo. Ms. Erin Trout, Council Liaison.
Thank you, Ms. Goff. I have a few updates from Mayor Lane's letters, nothing really from the council meeting, but a reminder that Christmas trees are for sale at the pool parking lot. And please support our hometown emergency response units. I think it's Company 1 and Company 3 that sponsor that. So when you buy a tree there, it does help our community. Also, a few events coming up this Saturday, the Volunteer Railroad Association will be hosting Santa at the train station in the center of town. And then also from 4 to 8 p.m. this Saturday, the fire department will have their Santa run. And you can check the fire department Facebook page to see the schedule when Santa will be passing your house in town. That's it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Arontrout. New Jersey School Boards Association, they sent us a fairly comprehensive email on December 11th. I won't review all of it, but just note that in your mind if you want to go back and look. It contained a bunch of links to webinars from workshop sponsors, so I'm excited to have a minute to sit and watch some of those. It also talks about the mandated training, which I know I'm hounding all of you about. New members have to be trained within 90 days of the first day of service, so that is definitely something that we need to keep on our radar. And they just talk about the various meetings. There's a virtual meeting link on here for February 1st for Passaic County, but it's a comprehensive. I think they've updated the way they send out their newsletters. I really like the newer newsletters. They're full of information. That is it as far as New Jersey School Boards goes. Dr. Morrell, both policy and CNI.
Policy, we did not meet. And for curriculum instruction, we discussed the district has applied for a grant with Montclair State University called the New Jersey Preschool Inclusive Education Project Grant. It provides a 5-week training for teachers and paraprofessionals to support inclusive practices. Inclusion, just to clarify for the public, that is a model to support special education students that are in a general education classroom setting, and those are inclusion practices to support students in that. One of the things that the district is currently trying to address is an increase in preschool enrollment of special education students. And our numbers have increased from what we typically have received in the past. There's a variety of reasons for that, one of which, I guess, is we have good programming and the word is out there, and so if you build it, they shall come, and well, that's kind of what we're dealing with. They're coming. So it's kind of a catch-22. You build a really great, strong early intervention program, preschool program, and like again, the word gets out, and so people move into the community. So it's, you know, it's kind of good, but then it creates new problems when you have an increase. And again, for the public to understand early intervention, we're required by law as soon as a child turns to the age of 3 and has found to have some type of developmental delays, we're required to enroll them in early intervention services. And again, that's when you turn the age of 3. So that's a rolling enrollment throughout the school year. So that's just something that the district is currently trying to address and adapting to that. Within that grant, they are waiting for a final approval for a 5-year grant, which is more extensive, and that really focuses on looking at overall systemic change regarding our preschool programming. A continuation of professional development that the district has provided to our general education teachers to support multilingual learners is through the Sheltered English Instruction Professional Development. Last year, there was a round, the first round of teachers learned about these instructional practices and how best to support English language learners in their classrooms. And this year, the initial plan was to, I guess, provide professional development to a new group of teachers. But in speaking to feedback from the teachers, there was a need for more focus on content. So if I'm a math teacher or science teacher, or even humanities, language arts, or social studies, that there's specific strategies to how I can help a multilingual learner in my classroom. So that is, you would have saw that on the CNI agenda, which was to approve Alex Guzman and of Guzman Educational Consultants for that. Again, just for a reminder for all of us and for the community, we have seen a rise in the number of multilingual learners that need English language services in our schools. So this is definitely a need for our teachers to support those students. The Diversity Alliance Committee, there was an update regarding a code of conduct to relate specifically to bias-related acts. That is going to be updated in a code of conduct student section, and the district will be working on informing both the students and parents about this new code of conduct update as it relates, again, to bias-related acts. There will be also lessons for teachers, students that take part of the No Place for Hate, just to inform students about bias-related acts for that. We also discussed the QSAC, which is how a district is monitored in 5 areas. And that's also, we were board approved, and I guess we're up for monitoring, which happens every 3 years. And that concludes the CNI report.
Thank you, Dr. Morrell. I just want to make a note that as far as policy, we did receive some outreach from a community member requesting that we look into our policy as it relates to student interaction with an administrator. We had that on the radar. We did not have a policy meeting this month, but we will keep it on the radar and look into that, the policy. Mr. Palouse, HEF, CPAC, and PTO.
Thank you, Madam President. I do have a few things to talk about. As we always mention, everybody's always looking for volunteers. All schools, organizations are always looking for more volunteers. If you go to Washington School PTO Hawthorne, New Jersey on Facebook, I like what they did. They actually have a link. So anyone who wants to become a member, any parent or family member that wants to be part of their PTO can do it electronically right on their Facebook page. It's right on top. I think that's actually a pretty unique way of doing it, and hopefully we can attract more people for Washington School, for all our school PTOs, as well as HEF and CPAC. Then over at Roosevelt School, there is a fundraiser. I'll just put this up real quick. It's, you can take a picture. I'm just going to leave it here for a second. On the video, you can go back and you can take a picture of that, and it will actually take you where you need to go. But they're doing a Bang Cookie fundraiser. 40% of all proceeds will go to Roosevelt School. And again, if you just go to their Facebook page, I'm sure the link is there. And again, real quick, if you just take a snapshot of that with your phone, you can participate and buy some delicious cookies. And also on the Facebook page for Lincoln Middle School, there is going to be another, I'm not going to show it because it's going to be too hard to read, but 10% of their purchases at Five Below. It's a fundraiser just being run through December 13th and December 19th. So again, if you can go onto the Lincoln Middle School Facebook page, get a form like this, and you'll be able to participate and help out, buy your holiday gifts and help out Lincoln Middle School. CPAC, again, we're still continuing to do the Ronald McDonald House pull tabs. If you could collect those, drop them off at any of the schools. They also want to announce their first workshop of the upcoming school year. It's January 24th, 2024 at 7 p.m. It's an open Zoom for everyone. The topic is going to be executive functioning, ADHD, and the impact on social, emotional learning. Pre-registration will be required. So again, everything that I'm pulling off should be able to be found on Facebook pages. Again, that's for CPAC. Also, mark your calendar, Cinco de Mayo. May 5th is going to be the color run this year, Sunday, May 5th. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the Education Foundation. On behalf of the Education Foundation, I'd like to thank everyone who participated in the raffle ticket with your opportunity to win $1,500 worth of various store gift cards. That drawing will be tomorrow night, so anyone who participated, I wish you the best of luck. And then more on a somber note, on Jefferson's PTO Hawthorne Facebook page, Cynthia Dockery posted something today, and I kind of want to share it, and I'm sure it's going to be shared a lot over the next couple weeks. But the Share organization, along with Cynthia Dockery, is going to be doing another raffle. They're going to have a bundle of scratch-offs, and the money is going to, all the money is going to be going towards Natalie. She's a 6-year-old Hawthorne resident, and this is her 3rd time, unfortunately, with cancer. The family is seeking an alternative treatment. It's going to be out of state, and it's going to be a lot of money. So anyone who wants to reach out, Cynthia Dockery, again, I'm going to repost this. Go on Facebook. I'm sure you're going to see it. You can make a donation, or for $20, you can buy a chance to give Natalie a chance. And again, I'm sure you're going to hear more information about that. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalous. Mr. Totaro, Buildings and Grounds.
Sure. Thank you, Madam President. Buildings and Grounds Committee met prior to this meeting this evening to discuss various items taking place throughout the district. A few general items. The QSAC inspections took place yesterday throughout the district, and we passed with flying colors. The state monitor was quite impressed with the schools he visited, and this is part one of the QSAC process. I'd like to give kudos to Joe Higgins and his team for their efforts to ensure everything was up to date. Over at the baseball field, we are obtaining quotes to repair and extend the coverage of the sprinkler system. The repair has to do with some of the sprinkler heads that are just leaking, and again, extending the coverage throughout the field. In addition, we are evaluating quotes to extend the turf covers over at the for the whole entire football field. Currently, we only have a small section. We see the benefits of having those covers, and the intent is to evaluate getting a cover for the entire field. And lastly, we are evaluating a vape sensor monitoring system to be installed at LMS. Once we gather all the information, we will obtain quotes and decide on proceeding accordingly. That will go in all of the bathrooms at LMS. Again, it's still kind of its infancy, still trying to gather the information on how we're going to proceed with that. Also, follow-ups on the referendum projects. The fire alarm upgrade project is 99% complete. All but Roosevelt has the full installation of the new system completed, and the demolition of the old system is complete as well. So the new system is up and running and operational with final permits received. Again, I think Roosevelt was the only one that didn't receive it. If I'm not mistaken, it's either happened or going. Yes, it's within the next couple of days.
Yes.
Actually, I think it's tomorrow. I'm just on my own note. I forgot to read it. Generators, the project overall has been moving well. Bose and Kelly have been waiting on the final generators to arrive on site, and which we are waiting to. Once they are connected, we will be coordinating with the utility company, and they hope. The hope is at some point in January, all of the projects or all the generators will be completed and punch listed and ready for the engineers to come out and review. For the Science and Media Center, the initial punch lists were reviewed and completed. As anticipated last week, we received the certificate of occupancy. And lastly, the high school parapet replacement, I think we might have talked about this before, but Spartan is 100% complete with the work. All demolition down to the offset bricks have been completed, and all masonry walls rebuilt. Lintel replacements were required, and roof flashing gravel stop has been completed. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Totaro.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Of course.
To something? To Dr. Spirito, the vaping, I know it's preliminary. Ms. Totaro only mentioned the middle school. Does it already exist at the high school?
So the committee was just talking about starting at the middle school, not that we
Correct.
wouldn't look into the high school, but that would be our starting point. Just, to try it there, see how, because we were, as Mr. Totaro said, we're just at the beginning stage of investigating which option we're going to go with. There's different, like with anything, right? There's different options, different versions. So we're looking into it, but yes, the goal would be to start at the middle school and then expand.
It's not limited.
Right.
A rollout, if you will.
Sounds like a good idea. Why not?
At this time, public can be heard. Members of the public may ask questions or make comments. Please remember to keep your comments to 5 minutes in length.
Hello. Erica Colton, 236 Lafayette Avenue. So I actually attended the NJ, I don't know their initials yet.
SBA.
Thank you. And the presentation that Clifton.
Passaic County. Yeah, Passaic County.
So it's NJ,
Oh. New Jersey's the state, and then there's Passaic
Yeah,
County
so you
School
went to the
Board.
county
Right, so
one.
there's another initial in there,
So
that's
it's
why I
the
keep
Passaic
messing
County.
it up.
Passaic
Too
County
many
School Board.
acronyms.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, Clifton did an amazing presentation on security, and I know someone was just talking about students with disabilities and what that looks like for drills. So just an idea, I teach the special education preschool inclusion class, so it kind of ties both together. But they have a little sticker on the windows, nonchalant, like, no, it's very small, but it's there, on the windows or next to the door that emergency personnel would enter if it's a classroom, let's say of self-contained students or an autistic ABA class, whatever. It's just to let, and then of course they tell the police know, they have the sticker on their phone, whatever, so that they can recognize these students need help. Maybe they're nonverbal, maybe they will get physical if someone runs in, all these things. And I just thought, that is so smart. It was like a pony. It was a little cute pony sticker. So there's no label, there was no words at all, nothing to identify our special needs students, but something that the town agreed on to give our personnel a heads up when they're going in, because our kids, maybe they're hiding, all these different things that could happen in an emergency, that it's important for our police, firefighters, ambulance. So I just thought, wow.
That's a good point, yeah.
It's something so silly. It probably cost nothing. I can make it on my Cricut. It was literally a black outline of a little pony, and has nothing to do with Clifton Schools, because I was like, what is your mascot? Nope, nothing to do with it. But it could really help. And then also the sensory bag, because I know that you mentioned something about being prepared and having something for those kids during drills or an actual emergency. And we have red bag backpacks at our school for our special needs students, but they said we should all have a sensory bag too. And I thought, that's so easy. I'm just gonna make a Ziploc sensory bag and put it in my red emergency backpack, so I have it on me at all times. And it's something we have in a classroom, and it's not gonna cost us anything, and it's really gonna help those kids if they need a Chewy, if whatever it is that's in their IEP and we're legally supposed to be doing. What better time to have it than during an emergency when there's siren? Headphones, huge. Noise canceling headphones, because those sirens are loud, and that really sets our kids off. And I don't know how many of you know the special education population, but when that happens, a lot of children will react, older and younger, by eloping or running. And that's exactly what we don't want them to do in an emergency. So it was just a couple things that I wrote down that are really simple and easy, don't cost us money, and could really help save or keep someone from getting hurt or running away. So I thought, wow, that's amazing. And then when you said that there was a Bear Cave opening, you meant students, not
Students.
staff. Okay,
No,
because you
like
just
a
said
vacancy.
opening, and I just assumed
Students.
staff.
Students.
Oh.
We'll have space for students
Okay.
next year.
Okay, great. And then I think there was something else, sorry. Oh, I don't know this, and you don't have the answer now, obviously, but do we have like a PBSIS program
Yes.
in another acronym?
I was whispering it.
I know, because
I'm
the
sure you know.
acronyms are horrible, but yeah, like something that's for like in the middle school, like specifically the middle school, or is it district-wide, or
So each of the schools have different programs.
is it teacher-led, or is it like school-wide? That's like
They're school-wide programs.
It
So
is.
the middle school has like a ticket program that they use, but they also do there's multiple things that are going on in each school, and
Yeah.
I could talk to you about this specifically, but it's not, we don't have a district-wide program that every school uses
Okay.
the same.
Yeah.
It's really based on the school,
Per
but everybody
school.
has something where they're focusing on,
Okay. So it's
recognized
not
students.
like a necessarily like a program that you would go out and get trained in. It's something that our staff put together because depending on what our students needed.
Correct.
Okay. Great. And
The original preschool though did get trained on the PBSIS years ago.
Yeah.
right.
Uh,
But I remember it being mentioned. That's why I was asking.
Yes,
and then
years
I
ago,
hadn't really-
and I'm sure has carried tenets of that
Of course.
throughout. And
Yeah.
then like specialized program, the ERI program, we call it DRI by code, but
Yes.
BB, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
they have their own
That
specific
makes sense.
token economy, so it
Yes.
does vary.
Yes.
And I'm sure it also varies by classroom,
It
but I
does,
just was wondering
yeah.
if there was like a big picture of something consistent so that when our kids leave 5th grade and go to 6th grade and then go into the high school, is there something we're carrying through? That was really what I was trying
I
to.
don't believe the high school has any sort of. but
High
that's-
school
Because
does,
there's really not any-
students, they've started this year with
Okay.
student recognition.
Yes.
With what?
Recognizing students.
Student of the month.
Student of the month,
Yeah.
excuse me, student of the month, yes.
But you're not
Okay.
earning tickets or
You're
anything.
not earning
No,
tickets or anything
no,
like that.
yeah, okay. And then, one thing to note, I know the website is being worked on.
Mhm.
I had to look for something in the nurses department or whatever in the high school, and there's listed, it says Hawthorne, I think it says HHS, I know it says cardiac emergency plan, and then when you click on it, there's nothing in it, so I was like, it's probably my phone, because of the website, blah,
Some
blah,
of the links are broken.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also it's last year's, that's why I was like, oh, maybe they forgot, and I don't know if it changes, because I'm not a nurse. I actually reached out to her, she said it doesn't change, you just have to, update it, repost, but it is empty,
Okay.
so just a heads up, I know you guys are working on it. It didn't work on my computer, because I was like, it's probably
That's
just
the
my
test.
phone.
Take a look.
The computer's the real test.
And then I just want to say congratulations to the NJ educators of the Governor's
Yeah.
Educators of the Year.
Governor's Educator of the Year, GEOY.
So many
Yes.
acronyms.
Jody.
There you go, that's easy. And I want to say thank you to Dr. Marone for all of your time and effort and knowledge. And we're really gonna miss you, you're such an asset here. And big shoes, big shoes. The policy alone is, knowledge is amazing, so thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, we'll start with general comments, new business, old business from board members. Just please ask that you identify what kind of comments that you're making. Dr. Morrell, you're looking at me. Do you want to start?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have
You're
old
giving me the
business.
shaking kind of.
Yeah, so old business, if you can just give an update with the hockey rink situation. Whatever you can disclose publicly, I guess. I know that the use of the thing is good to go, right?
Yes, we've approved the use, they provided the insurance that's required, all the repairs that were required to be made have been made. Beyond that, there's been no other, I know our attorney reached out to them to try to schedule something between the board and the council to discuss that shared services agreement, but I haven't heard anything beyond that.
Okay, I just wanted that to be known publicly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Fogarty, and I can even be more specific, Mr. Fogarty did reach out to the town attorney and asked specifically for the members on that side who would comprise the committee that would be sitting down to discuss the ongoing shared service agreement. That is what we are still in negotiations regarding. And their attorney did respond promptly back and said, I will reach out and get back to you. Both attorneys agreed that if either attorney came, the other one would come to that meeting, and that's where we've left it. We've not heard since. So there's the shared service agreement product is still not there, but both sides are in agreement that committees need to be formed, and that we did say after the new year, when the new board was made up, and just to give time, that this committee would sit and meet.
Okay, I just wanted that
Thank you.
to be publicly known, to just give an update.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is gonna be posted on Facebook. This one's general comments. So apparently I don't know how to count, and I didn't count enough booklets, but all of you received at a glance the workshop. I would have shared this with you at last month, but I wasn't able to come to the board meeting. I just want to encourage you to please consider attending the School Board Association workshop. I attended Wednesday and Thursday. I know that it may be difficult, but I really do encourage you taking a day off of work and going down there. I think it's our responsibility as board members, especially for those of us who are who have the education background. Part of the School Board Association workshop is not only focused on us as a governing body, but it also provides workshop to educate us on education things that we should know about. So for example, these are some of the workshops I attended. Best practices for managing board meetings. And by the way, if you go on the website and if you log in, some of the workshops, you can actually download the presentations as well, and I think Ms. Goff, you referenced that
Yes.
that was in an email.
Yep, the webinar.
So like the best practices for managing board meeting, that was presented by some board attorneys, and I thought it was interesting because the focus on that really was about, you know, how do you manage meetings that could become contentious with everything we know is going on in education, but also just best practices, right, of holding meetings. I attended a session called Branding, Building Powerful Relationships through Brands. That was presented by the Montville Township. I know that was something we've discussed in the past about branding, and it was just really informational and educational to see the process Montville with. I took a lot of notes on that one. I really was excited about that, especially when something that Ms. Goff has spoken to about, that unfortunately we seem to be in a place where we have to promote our high school, you know, as if, you know, it's a product to sell in a way. But part of that branding relates to just also building, you know, a sense of unity across the district. I also attended the Unsung Heroes Award ceremony. That's where Ms. DiGeronimo, as well as other educators and educational services professionals around New Jersey were highlighted. I got to hear from Carly Lloyd. I took pictures. I rubbed it in my daughter's face that I got to see Carly Lloyd. She's a big soccer person, but she was also very inspirational. I attended, this one had more of an educational focus. It was data-based decision-making for addressing chronic absenteeism. I know that that's been a big issue for many school districts, especially since we've come back from COVID. And so we heard from some strategies. And then I also attended a workshop called Enriching Your Governance Toolbox. And there's a whole host of others, and I brought you the guide, the book, because there's some things, just educational topics that might be of interest to you as a board member, again, for our role in terms of educating ourselves for topics that come forward. And then the other general comment, I just want to thank everyone. I'm really appreciative and humbled to even have been elected to be here in this role, and I'm just appreciative of my time. It's been a wonderful learning experience, and I wish everyone well moving forward. Erica as well, congratulations in this role. I will probably still be attending board meeting, whether that's virtually through I'll be the one YouTube person probably watching, or I'll be here present, assuming that there isn't a conflict with my own board meetings. But in either way, just thank you to everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Morrell. Mr. Clark?
I have nothing under new or old business, just general comments. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate my nephew, James Nemetoff, on his attaining the rank of Eagle. I'd also like to say that congratulations to Erica on winning your trustee position. And to Dr. Morrell, it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to sit next to you for the last 3 years. Your knowledge on education and policy will be sorely missed.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Mr. Shortway?
Yeah, just general comments too. I'd like to congratulate all the students and teachers that were recognized for all their hard work. Also, Alma, I wish you well. You do a fantastic job here, and you will be missed. Also, I'd like to mention Mayor Goldberg. He passed away last week, and just wish him to rest in peace. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Shortway. Mr. Doyle?
Two separate categories. I'll start out with old business first. Excuse me, with regards to the hockey rink that we briefly discussed. I know there was, we mentioned we're going to have to sit down and work out this agreement. I know there was something sent out to the board about whether we need or don't need, what the opinion is of having attorneys at these meetings. My opinion, I don't think we need to absorb the additional cost of having attorneys from either side while we negotiate. I think this is something that we can handle as a board and as whatever committees are put in line. Eventually, once we have something inked out, then the attorneys will review it, but to incur that extra cost, because you know it's going to be more than one meeting, and I think we can forego that. General comments. Dr. Morrell, although I only had the pleasure of serving 1 year with you, it certainly was a pleasure. It was absolutely a productive and successful year. You're definitely leaving a positive imprint on the district, and I wish you lots of luck. Thank you so much for donating your time and serving. Don't look too hard, but there might be a bonus in your check from the board coming in. May or may not. All right. Thank you to everyone who helped sell tickets for the Hef's raffle, and thank you to everyone who purchased tickets. That $1,500 assorted gift cards will go a long way to the winner. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. And last but not least, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and of course, a happy and healthy New Year's Day.
Thank you, Mr. Doyle. Mr. Clavijo.
Thank you, Ms. Goff. Two old business, Passaic County School Board Association. Erica, I did see you there. I was at the meeting virtually. I'm glad that you did go out. The meetings are, they've gotten better over the years, and they're absolutely jam-packed, so I'm glad that you were there for that. Clarification on the Bear Cave. It's a student, we have an opening for student, it's not for staff, it's a student opening. The Bear Cave is for our special needs students that graduate from the high school, and they're entitled to education up to the age of 21. It teaches them life skills, and this program, when we have students from outside the district, creates revenue for us. So that's the clarification on that. General comments, Dr. Morrell, thank you for your time. It's only one term, but it's 3 years of your life, so we're very appreciative of it. Brings the adage to mind, don't make the days count, right? What is, don't make the days count, don't count the days, make the days count. So certainly have learned a lot from you, so you will be missed. Also want to mention the Goldberg family, condolences to the family. Mayor Goldberg was good about incorporating some of us into different town activities. I ended up on the Hawthorne Day Committee and Stigma-Free Committee and a couple others, thanks to his introduction and more welcome. Last but not least, just want to encourage everybody to make a point to visit TREPS. TREPS is an amazing program. We did not have it for a long, long time. My kids did not have the opportunity to participate in it, but it's absolutely worthwhile. It teaches kids about entrepreneurship. It's a unique experience, so I want to encourage us to come out to that. I believe that was December 19th, right?
Yeah.
And bring your money.
Yeah.
Bring your money. Bring your money.
It adds up quick.
Yes, it
It does, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Some really good salesmen out there
You
too.
think it's $3, but it adds up quick.
Yeah.
It's a worthwhile experience both ways. Seeing the kids do it and the interaction that you get with them. And that's it. Otherwise, just happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Clavijo. Mr. Totaro.
Thank you. Yes, I echo those sentiments as far as TREPS. I'm looking forward to it. This year, I'm honored to have my daughter and her friends do it, so I'm really excited. Last year, I was not prepared. I left with no money in my pocket, so I'm going to be a little more prepared this year, and I'm excited to see her and what she's doing for her project. I had to write a couple things down so I didn't forget anything. I also too want to share my condolences to the Goldberg family on the loss of Mayor Goldberg. He was an amazing leader in support of our district and our community. Again, just want to wish my condolences to Sharon and the family. I also consider Mayor Goldberg a friend. On a different and more enlightening topic, my colleague, Mr. Clavijo, was honored and certified as a certified board member by NJSBA, which I want to congratulate him on. I personally know the time and the effort that goes into that. What we do here is a lot to begin with, but the extra time and effort that goes into that is invaluable, and I know that you're going to be able to bring that continued leadership to this board, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Also, congratulations to all the Governor Educator of the Year Award recipients. Got that right?
You did.
And I had to write this down because I did not want to dismiss the acknowledgement of Dr. Morrell. As your time on the Hawthorne board draws to close, I want to express my sincere gratitude to your service. Board service is the toughest volunteer role in my opinion, and you took on the board duties with dedication, grace, and seriousness. I'm most grateful for your active leadership as a judicious steward of our board. I know you always carefully deliberated on matters before the board and even when the decisions were difficult. I wish you and your family continued success in future endeavors. It has truly been an honor to serve with you. And lastly, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all, and especially to my fellow board members and administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cesaro. Ms. Aaron.
Thank you, Ms. Goff. First, general comments. So the SHARE alumni group, the SHARE that we have at the high school. Again, there's an alumni group on Facebook. We're also doing a collection for Natalie. Last I talked with Ms. Atkins and Batista, I think we are up to about $1,700, and we hope to raise quite a bit more money to be able to give to the family. Second, Dr. Morrell, thank you so much for your service. Your perspective is always appreciated. A lot of times you've brought up really good points that, and we're all really a great team, and I think we're all unique in our own ways, and you've really shared a lot of good points that no one else really thought of. So thank you for everything and your friendship. You will be missed, and happy holidays to everyone in the district.
Thank you, Ms. Aaron. Mr. Kalus.
It's hard to follow everybody because I'll be saying the same things, but I do have a lot of general comments.
Sure.
I do want to reflect my condolences to the Goldberg family. Rich was a great guy, I knew him for a long time. He really cared about this town, and he had a great way of presenting himself. He was funny, and he got his point across. So, again, my condolences to the family. A few things that were brought up tonight. CUSAC, Mr. Tortora mentioned it. I just want to thank everybody who's involved with that because that is huge for us to score so well every year. So, thank you for everyone who was involved there. Erica brought something up today, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but years ago, Jeff Vanderhoek, Captain Vanderhoek, actually had a form related to, and I think we brought it to some CPAC meetings, and the form actually had information about individual children in specific homes. So that dispatch had that. I'm going to look into it and just talk to a few people and see if that's something that we can, that's either still in place or that we could, redo. Things like hiding spots for a kid. God forbid there's a fire, dispatch would know where that person could possibly be. So I thought that was a good point, but I did want to mention that, the town has been on board. Police department did have something in place at one time. We will follow up on that.
Your means home, right?
For home, right,
Well, yeah.
which, again, I know you were talking here,
Yeah.
but it's something that I think that it bodes well both places, right? Because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of tragedies that could happen
Yeah.
in the home, and if dispatch knows that there is somebody with a special need in there, it doesn't have to be a child. It could be somebody wheelchair bound, whatever it might be. It's something we should continue to look into. Then Dr. Morrell mentioned in her report about Build It and They Will Come. We've heard that for years. And, it's unfortunately, something that we have to face with because as a human being, you want to do what's best for everyone. And people with special needs need more, obviously, and they cost more. It would be great in the real world if it was fully funded by the state. But, again, Hawthorne gets penalized for being a caring town. And, not to always throw PCTI back in the mix, but if a student goes to PCTI, it costs us money. It doesn't cost the county, and it doesn't cost the state. Nobody kicks in and says, we're going to share. And it's unfortunately, that with the Build It and They Will Come, it's the same thing. They mandate things, we implement, and instead of implementing a mediocre, program, we do here in town the best that we possibly can do for every student, and it costs us money. So, that's something that if it would be fully funded, it would be a wonderful thing. But, I don't know, maybe I'll live in a fantasy world that someday it will be fully funded. I'm not sure. Dr. Morrell, well, actually, one more general comment. I did have the opportunity, my daughter came back from school, and we did see the school play. My whole family got to attend, and it was weird to be not watching my kids up there, but it was a great play, and everyone did a great job. So, kudos to the students and as well as the people who put on the play and donate their time to making that successful every year. I look forward to the spring musical as well. And then we will round it off with Dr. Morrell. It's been a pleasure. You actually, thank you for your time and your service, obviously, but the knowledge that you brought to this board is surely going to be missed. Again, so thank you for your time. And we will miss you here. I'm sure you'll be involved and give us some pointers whenever we need it. And then for everyone else, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone, and everyone have a happy, healthy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Blues. I have a couple of things under new business. Number one, just in seeing this, the Willie Wilson's Theater Arts Group, they're using our auditorium. Now that it's air conditioned, do we seem to have more of a request for public use?
I don't know, it hasn't been significant. I mean, this is the first, it's funny, this is the first group that's asked for more than one day. Typically, it's a one day. This group is asking for, as you can see, the whole week. So, we'll see. I mean, so far it hasn't been the case, but this is.
I mean, I feel like it's, and if you build it, they will come type situation. If one dance school has their recital there and word gets, and I just, this comes back to us having to market. How can we market the use of the space? And the best way is just having other people use it. So I was just curious, actually, when I was sitting there, I can't remember when it was cold, the air conditioner was blasting, and I was like, oh, people will want to use it now. So hopefully word gets out. I mean, these are times when it would need to be air conditioned, so that's good too. So that's good.
I actually had to look back at the policy because we've only ever had a one-day use,
Right.
a multiple day. I had to see how it was charged, and
Right.
it's the first time I'd actually
Yeah.
dive into the policy.
That's great. And then it's
That's
another
good.
for-profit.
Yeah.
Great. Second thing, I did have a community member reach out to me to let me know that a doctor that she is collaborating with, Dr. Holden, who's an orthopedic surgeon, I believe, is willing to do a pro bono presentation for the Hawthorne Public Schools. I can get you all the information on opioid addiction. So I'll get you that information. I just wanted to put it on my radar anyways before I forgot. Other new business, I just want to let the greater board know that Dr. Sprito and I met with Erica to conduct a new board member orientation. It was lovely. It was the first one I had been involved in. Dr. Sprito prepared a very comprehensive agenda. We went through our own agenda that we flipped through one of these old guys and just talked and fielded questions. It was great to be ahead of the game and meet proactively.
Lots of reading materials.
We provided links and booklets and
Inspired by Dr. Morel.
It was great. Yes, I remember
that was a point that Dr.
Yeah.
Morel made 2 New Jersey
staff
School Board
orientation.
Association conferences ago, and we did take it seriously this year and sat and had a very lovely meeting. And listen, we have made it clear where did you go, because new things pop up all the time, but we did try and take the learning curve down a little bit, and we had that meeting last week with Erica.
That's great, because January's already too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time you get a hold of that first agenda, you're trying to figure it out. So we tried to just talk about everything we could up front. And a credit to Dr. Morel there. And then 2 things for general board comments. Happy Hanukkah. Tonight is the 6th candle lighting, I believe, to our community, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. And to leave off with, what a tremendous, and I don't want to make it out like it's a loss, but I've been up here with a lot of people, and to say that you have had a profound impact isn't even profound enough. I mean, you are truly leading the board better than you found it. I'm someone in the business of education, and I was continually astonished at everything that you knew and shared with us. Eternally grateful. The 1 term, 3 years, the impact will be long lasting after that. So please come. I don't care what side you're sitting on. You are a help to us no matter where you are. So please don't be a stranger. We will miss you. But personally, I fully understand this is a humongous commitment, and to be full-time working mom and doing this is Herculean. And you're in a new role now, and I wish you all the best of luck, but please don't forget about us. And I will have to find somebody. The public doesn't know, but Dr. Morel gives every board member a birthday card on their birthday. She just does that. So now we have to carry on the Dr. Morel tradition of the birthday card. So we will find somebody else. But just another little example of Dr. Morel's lasting.
You can still send the birthday cards.
She hand delivered that.
Actually, presents would be more.
She hand delivered that. It was just something little, but it was very meaningful. We will not have a public session this evening, so we will just be, yeah, okay, that's why I needed it. We will not have a private session this evening, so we will just be motioning to adjourn, and I'll entertain those motions.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Shortway and seconded by Mr. Kalous.
No, take the second back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Morel, did you second it?
No,
I was going to second something?
you were gonna second.
I was, but I was too slow.
Motion by Mr. Shortway and seconded by Dr. Morel.
I said, wait a second, I didn't say second.
I'm sorry. I also said we're not having a public meeting, so obviously, roll call please.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Mr. Padilla.
Yes.
Mr. Doyle.
Yes.
Ms. Erentraub.
Yes.
Dr. Morel.
Yes.
Mr. Kalous.
Yes.
Mr. Shortway.
Yes.
Mrs. Sataro.
Yes.
Mrs. Goff.
Yes.